let's try this again. Good old Mercury retrograde vibes, right? So hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to day 3 of our 3-day challenge of navigating the star codes. I'm gonna wait for Kirsten to hop on so I can invite her in to the live. And if you are tuning in live, let us know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, comment replay in the comments. Your type in human design and anything else you know about your type. And we'll get started. So, hello. Thank you for tuning in. So glad you're here. And I'm waiting for Kristen to hop on. So we are going to go over what is in the transits today. The sun is in gate 21. And also we have a lot of stuff going on in the other planets that, here we go. Kirsten is hopping on with me. Yeah, we're going to go into all the things today. So it's going to be really exciting, really juicy. I got my oracle cards with me as well. We're going to do some card pulls. Hello, Kirsten. We got it. Good old Mercury retrograde, right?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone.
So Kirsten is tuning in from Melbourne, Australia. And I am in Los Angeles, California. So we are international. Yay. Thank you for, oh, hello, Nancy and Honey. Yay. So happy you're here with us. Today is going to be really good. We're going to give you all the things. So last week I wasn't feeling very good. And now Kirsten got what I got. So that's always fun. Sometimes we pick up energetic stuff and we can be a whole world away. So I'm gonna really hold for this day. Kirsten is going to just be providing her beautiful energy, her defined sacral, which is always helpful for us energy types.
Thank you, honey. So good to see you on here.
I'm so happy you guys are here with us. So in the chat, let us know what has been coming up for you. We just got hit with our second eclipse this weekend as we went into the gate of control. Do you know what the gate of control is? And does it show up in your human design chart? Do you have the hanging gate 45? Hello, Stephen. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name right. Kirsten, you look good. Sending lots of love and healing energy. Thank you, Nancy.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Nancy.
let us know if you're familiar with human design, if you know your type, if you're new to this modality, astrology, all the things. Let's get into it today. So, Kirsten, I know you're not feeling well, but do you want to share a little bit about what came up for you personally during the eclipse this weekend, what you noticed, and anything you want to share before we start?
I think the main thing that's come up for me since we've transitioned into this gate or key is all about what I can control and what I can't control. And when you're feeling, slightly off or not quite right, and you don't listen to your body and what your body is telling you, then it can escalate in my case. And so I listened to myself on Saturday. My daughter and I actually spent a whole day, evening, in our pajamas, watching TV, reading books. And so I listened to what my body was telling me, that I wasn't quite right. And what whilst I'm not 100%, I'm back working. I've been doing things this week, and yeah, normally when I get unwell, I'm bedridden, and everybody knows what my system is like. And so it's I feel like really tapping in and understanding more about what I can and can't control has been very helpful for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Really going into this more, reading up on the Gate 21, because I know about it. I went through the certification. But when we go back and review these things, the gates, the gene keys, like it's like new ahas kind of sink
Yes.
in. And this channel, so it's the 45 and the 21 that create the money line. And it's one of the most materialistic channels in the body graph. It has to do with the tribe. And these two gates can actually be hard to work together if you have the full channel, because one gate is the king, the queen, the hunter, the huntress. It has the resources, or it doesn't, but it necessarily doesn't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
I have the gate 45. And then the gate 21 is all about control and management and controlling the resources. Is it in control of just their personal gain, or is it controlling their gain and others and the tribe? And so just reading up upon this, how they work together, how other people who might have just the hanging gates are, how they can work well together with the electromagnetic, was really interesting. When I went through my certification in Raquel Reina's school, she does a certification school, and we've done several classes together in her school. We went over this channel and how it can be sort of like a problematic electromagnetic for people. So concerning on the other side and how it can work well, and then even if somebody does have the gate 21, it's really beneficial for them to know other people who have gate 21 as well. So yeah, it was interesting to contemplate this further, seeing what we're in control of, the illusions of control that kind of plague us, and then how to have a healthy relationship with control. So Nancy says, my gate 45 is undefined. My gate 45 is open. Sorry, not undefined, open. Yeah, they mean the same thing. It's okay, Nancy, no worries. Do you know if you have the gate 21? And have you, anybody who's listening live or to the recording, how has this energy been showing up for you since we've been in the transit, and we're in Aries season right now? So with Aries, it's sort of like do first, think later. And it is part of the incarnation cross of tension. So it can feel tense when the midst of trying to control things or wanting to control things. So the earth is in gate 48, which is its programming partner. So Kirsten, did you want to go a little bit into this and how this shows up?
So, with the programming partner, in my experience, it's all about being the polar opposite and how they can be the yin and the yang, how they can counterbalance each other. And so, I've found that when I have someone else that might have the opposite gate to me, it can really help balance me out. And so,
Yeah.
if you think about, if you have the 21 in your profile or chart, or if you have the 48, then do you have both, first of all? Do you have the full channel, or do you have either or? And are you counterbalancing somebody else, perhaps, that you might be in an environment with, whether you're working or living with? And, or do you have a relationship, like a friendship with them, and do you help balance each other out? So that's my experience with the programming partners and how I understand how they feel for me.
Awesome. Thanks so much for explaining that. Oh, and before we go any further into our live, hi Trin, so glad you're here with us. Let's do a little overview of the live today, so you know what you're getting into, and what you're gonna benefit from this live. So today we're gonna go into we started going into the gate 21 in the sun, a little bit about its programming partner, how that shows up. And then we're going to go more into the astrology of what's going on with the North Node, Mercury in retrograde, Venus retrograde, how Saturn's playing into that, where Neptune is showing up as well. This is really exciting. Neptune just shifted, so I'm really excited to go into this with you guys about that. I got my oracle cards, and I'm going to do some live card pulls for you guys. So if you guys want a card pull, let me know, and I will pull you a card, and we will be announcing our prize winner for our 3-day challenge, which we're both very excited to share with you. And stay till the end.
Yeah, stay till the end so that you'll find out who it is. Yeah, it's really, really exciting what we're going to be announcing, and we hope that you're all as excited as we are about what's going to be coming forward, or what is already happening in the background for us, but for all of you, and an opportunity for you to come and play with us.
Yeah. So as you were talking, Kirsten, I was just shuffling my deck, and guess what card fell out?
What number is it?
Gate 14. It's the magic gate of body graph for any non-energy type, especially. The gate 14 is possession in great measure. So the archetype, the animal archetype, and this goes to anybody who is watching right now as well. We're all tapping into the same frequency and energy on some level. So the animal archetype is the buffalo, and the keyword is abundance. And so, and you have this gate too, Kirsten. So in the positive aspect, it's wealth, resources, and life force. In the shadow, it can be malnourished, obstruction, and dejection. So anytime an oracle card flips up upside down, that means that there's a block there. But if it's right side up, this is a key that you are in alignment with that. So it fell right side up. So we're in the right direction. So Trin says she has gate 21 design Mercury. Oh, interesting. And 48 in Pluto. Oh, so you have both. Would really love to hear how that shows up for you, Trin. And then Nancy says my gate 21 is also open. Okay, so you have the full channel completely open. Nancy says, would love a card if you're so inclined. Awesome. Yes, I will definitely pull a card for you, Nancy, as well. So, what should we get into next, Kirsten?
So, Lauren, you already mentioned about the 21 being the gate of the hunter or huntress, reaching for 45, which is in the throat, right? And it's all about I have. So what do you have? Not about what you don't have.
Yeah.
What do you have? And in control, what are you in control of? So if you think about I have this and I'm in control of this as an example. So I'd really love, just to hear if anyone else wants to share about how that comes up for them, especially Nancy, Trin, thank you so much for letting us know. Hey, Kay, nice to see you on here. And Kay would like a card too. And think about the physiological side of where it shows up in our profile, which is in the lungs. Interestingly, this is where I'm feeling constricted at the moment. So it's about what can I control with my lungs. It's about breathing. It's about regulating myself with my breath. I'm in control of that, right? I can help myself by going out in fresh air, using supplements, diffusing aromatically, so what can I help myself with to help me be in control of opening up my lungs and breathing?
Yeah,
And
I love that.
and then you look at the gate of self-regulation, and the challenge is learning to let go. So
Mm,
what do you need to let go of? We all need to let go of some sort of control,
mhm.
don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like when we're in that space of the unknown, that's where more potential and possibility can come in. Whereas if we're so on top and trying to control so many things, we're actually blocking
Mm-hmm.
possibilities to come in. And
Mm.
as I was going through our notes, what really popped out is gate 48 is about resources. And not only that, but it's like the intuitive wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I have gate 48 in my Mercury. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm talking, I can tell you all the things and keep going, especially because I'm a mental projector. I don't know when enough is enough sometimes. But with gate 21, that's a really interesting dynamic, because if one is not showing up in the chart, then that might be amplified.
Mm-hmm.
So when the not self will look at what's missing,
Right.
what will be our openness, and then all that mental noise is just that chatter. So
Right.
these are really good reframes of what can I control, how can
Mm-hmm.
I be in my body, how can I use my breath, what do I have versus what I don't have, because the gate 48, the gate 45, especially if it's a hanging gate, can lean
Yeah,
more
just need
into,
sorry to correct you there, Lauren. I'm glad that you pulled it up. We're talking about 45, not 48.
yeah,
And that's Mercury hitting us again,
yeah.
right?
So but yeah, with 48, with the programming partner for
Yes. Yep.
21. Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting, because that's really helpful in business, especially because it's
Mm,
about your resources and what you know and your wisdom.
mm, mm,
Um,
mm,
so Nancy says, I'm very congested right now. Just figured it ascension energy eclipse. Absolutely. This
mm.
energy is like wiping shiz out, like on our physical, in our physical body, 100%.
Nancy, I was thinking about this, about how I support myself, like, um, through breath work. I've talked about using the triple flame before, and pausing and breathing. So whether it's deep breathing or it's just conscious release, movement practice. So whether it's fluid or grounding, yoga, dance, qigong. I do clinical Pilates. That's my movement release. Um, do you have things like sound therapy, tuning forks, sound bowls, or is there mindfulness or meditation? So I feel like any of those types of embodiment tools are really, really helpful for us right now with that congestion, and just, yeah, really needing to release that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm curious to hear if anybody else is using any of those, or would you like to perhaps embody some of those tools, or one of those tools, to help you more feel like you're more present, more grounded, in control of what you can control.
Mm-hmm. I use breath work, violet flame, qigong, sound bowls, use them all. Love it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right, so I think I'm gonna do some card pulls and just kind of flow with this live. We'll go more into the other astrology and gates they're in as well, but I wanna pull some cards for you guys. So if you have a specific question, just want, a general thing for the universe, you can just keep it in mind. If you want to share, you can do that too. It's totally up to you. And I'm going to pull for Nancy first. So we got two cards flying out. So we got some reverse cards coming. The first one is the gate 18, which I think, Nancy, you do have. You have the channel of judgment, right? If I'm not mistaken. It says work harder on what has been spoiled. That is part of the I Ching and the gate that it's connected to. This is the gate of integrity, and the animal totem is the jaguar. So it's all about healing, correction, and justice. When it shows up upside down, there means there's a blockage there. So decay, dishonesty, blame. So right now it's like you're purging what is ready to be released, right? Like being sick. That's a lot of like, oh, this decay has been built up. Now it's time to go. What's coming to me is that when we're going through a specific sickness or something, or we're like making a shift onto our next level, our body purges. And so that's what's happening. And sometimes when we get too much, because gate 18 can be so in the details of like what needs to be fixed and corrected, it can kind of be a little bit anal with that. And so if we get too much into that and not having that balance, that can throw us off. So, and I'm kind of feeling that being too much in the head about things versus being in our body and our flow, which, you know, it happens to all of us. Like I'm speaking to myself too. It really helps have that balance as well. So the next card that came out is the gate 9, which is the taming power of the small. The animal totem is the mouse, and it's all about details. When it's in its healthy expression, it's all about focus, effort, and incremental. It's all about one step at a time. When it's upside down or blocked, it's hesitant, perfectionism, and inertia. So it's kind of mirroring the first card. I have the gate 9, so I have it in the line too, and it literally says misery loves company. This is a very challenging gate, especially within the line too. I don't know, Nancy, if you have this as well, but with taking one step out of a time, especially if you're a visionary, if you're a dreamer, if you have big ideas, you kind of just want to rush through all the steps to get to that big end. But what happens is we can kind of crash and burn during that time. So it's like, okay, what's the next step? Like, what's just the next step that I needed to take? And then planning in that way versus either like missing some steps or like cutting some corners that can actually sabotage us, and not getting overwhelmed with the small details because they're actually really important in our foundation. So let me know how that resonates, Nancy, and if you have any questions about those cards that came through.
Next, we have Kay, and Kay said that she attends aqua yoga once or twice a week. Oh, amazing, Kay. So obviously it's yoga, but in the water. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
That'd be
love that.
Really gentle on your body, I would guess. So if we can do Kay next.
Yes.
So the next
Nancy
card will be
says,
for you, Kay.
I'm literally breaking up with a friend right now. Interesting. Exactly. Mouse is one of my totem animals. Oh, that's so cool. Do you have a copy of my chart? Details are my nemesis. I do have a copy of your chart, actually, Nancy.
We'll get that to you, Nancy, after we've finished the call, so you can have a look more deeply into that.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing. I'm sorry that to hear that you're going through that with a friend. It's never easy, but we hope that these insights will be able to give you some space to hold for yourself, so that you can look at this situation from the outside in.
Yeah, and I can really relate with when we're up leveling and stepping more into our power, our true self. Sometimes our relationships, we can outgrow certain roles or certain ways of being that we were in relationships, and it's not personal at the same time, even though it can really hurt, you know, if we had a strong bond with a person. Maybe there's just a pause during that season. I have everything but my dark moon Lilith on mine and Chiron on mine. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I can let you know what yours are too. But yeah, just going through this process and this journey, I can relate. So I'm just sending you a lot of love, and I definitely understand how challenging it can be as well. But it sounds like you're doing everything that you need to do for yourself, which is great. So we have Kay. That's next. If you're here live, Kay, let us know. If you know your human design, your profile, and anything that you're wanting to know and explore and go deeper in, you can just think about it. You can share it if you want. So the card that came through is the gate 11, and I have this gate 4 times. So it's the gate of peace, and the keynote is illusion, and the animal totem is the dragonfly, and it is all about reality, elementals, and reprogram. So 11, ooh, this one is a big one for me, and I can just share from personal experience. But 11 is all about ideas. It is part of the storytelling channel. And with ideas, I've realized they really get to be invited because it's part of a projected channel circuitry. And you can have all the ideas in the world, and if they're not recognized, you're kind of just putting your ideas out there and they're landing flat, right? And so you really want to make sure that what you're putting out there or what is waiting to be invited and people hearing your ideas is really recognized, so you don't go into any sort of bitterness or whatever your not self is. And with dragonfly, it's also a totem of transformation. It's a totem of evolving. So right now your ideas might be mutating. Right now they might be changing. You might be changing of how you relate and see things as well, because the gene key is all about, in the highest expression, light. In the shadow, it's obscurity. It's about seeing things a certain type of way, of black and white, where in higher consciousness and oneness, there is no black and white. There is no right and wrong. It's just different perspectives. Kirsten, do you want to add anything to that?
I was actually looking to see if I could see Kay's chart while you were sharing that, but it's not meant to be right this moment, Kay. We'll take another deep dive into that later. But for 11, yeah, I can absolutely resonate with that as well. And for me, I feel like the 11 connected with the 56, right, Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
And when I step into the 11, or I have someone that's with the 11, because I have the 56, it's actually my life's work, it's my conscious sun. And the 11, I feel like, can really help draw out that information through the storytelling of the 56 and hold space for that 11 as well, but give it the feedback that it needs and allow that voice that needs to be heard in the right timing. I hope that makes sense to you, Kay, but that's how I feel like the 11 feels for me.
Love it. Yeah, let us know how that card resonated, Kay, if you have any questions with that as well. I'm just going to go back up in the comments. If you're tuning
And then we
in
have
live,
Trin
let us,
next.
okay, awesome. Yeah, and let us know if you want us to pull a card for you too. So I'm just going back and seeing. Nancy said, I've known her for 40 years. We reconnected recently, but I just can't anymore. Totally understand. Be right back. I have to take this call. No worries. Kay says the dragonfly is my all-time fave. Yeah, I love that. Love it, love it. Hi, Britt. So glad you're back with us. If you want a card pull, just let me know. Kay says, wonderful. Thank you. You're so welcome. Hello. So glad you're hopping on with us. So, Trin, if you're still here live, let me know. Let us know. I'm going to pull a card for you if you have a specific question or about anything. If you just want to get a general feel of what the universe has for you. let's see. And this is applicable. I just want to invite people to try this on. If you feel like, oh yeah, that message is for me too. Yeah, it probably is. And if you're like, oh, that doesn't really resonate, then it doesn't. So just really trust yourself of like what comes through. Okay. So, Trin, we have the gate 3, and it is difficulty at the beginning. The keyword is learning, and the animal totem is wolf. I have gate 3 in my earth. And the keywords are teacher, education, and novice. So with gate 3, this one is a doozy, maybe just because it's a detriment for me. But there's always, when you're starting something, there's always going to be resistance to what's new because it's a mutation that is occurring. And so resistance, we get met with resistance until there's a breakthrough. So usually when things need to change and mutate, we're presented with a lot of obstacles and challenges at times. And what happens, our saboteur, certain things, negative thoughts can get in the way, and then maybe we give up, or maybe we wait, or maybe we put things on pause instead of just continuing with what our intentions are. And at the same time, you always want to trust your inner authority. So maybe it's like, oh, I do need to stop this, or maybe I'm getting frustrated, I don't want to do this at this time. Then that will be correct for you. However, with gate 3, it wants to change shit. It really wants to change and mutate. And it's in response. So it's waiting to respond. But at the same time, with gate 60, it will hold on to things way past their due time until it's like, okay, I can't hold on anymore. And then the change happens.
And I
know
have 3 in my Chiron, so I'm laughing here.
And you have 60 as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 shows up in my earth and my part of fortune. So, and I have both lines where it's not great, basically. But with these challenges, they really help us grow and see where we get to shine in our challenges. And that's been a really positive reframe for me as I've been experimenting with my design and getting more into the gates and the gene keys and the contemplation of all this. So some key things to contemplate with gate 3 and with the wolf. The wolf is a leader. Sometimes the wolf is either in a pack or the lone wolf. Usually the wolf is in a pack though. So it's what needs to be changed in the pack. You know, where is there resistance? Where do you get to surrender? We always want to focus on what we can change within ourselves first. If there's any suffering, if there's inner resistance, that is showing up and then being reflected in our reality. And then how can you find the joy in the chaos? That was something somebody said to me recently, Melinda. She has this in the line 6. And so with the line 6, they're over it. They're over the gate. They're like, oh, this is great. You know, I'm on to the next thing. And that to me stuck out. That was like a new thought from the universe with this that I've never thought of. How can you find the beauty and the joy and the chaos and not get sucked into it? And so that's something that I've been contemplating a lot. And really being,
and it's a good time right now, Lauren, to contemplate that too, because this is a manifested channel. The 21 is about the manifestation, right, of being in control or not being in control. It's about the tribal leadership. It's about material to survive. It's about ensuring the survival of the tribe, but also how can you control yourself. And then the 45 that I have, right? Remember, it's not what I don't have, it's about what you do have. And so the 45 is about, it's it's referenced as the king or the queen, and we've talked about this in previous lives recently, how my archetype is the king, about being in leadership, being that role model, about knowing who to being, having discernment, but also ruling with ease and flow, but knowing who to delegate or put in positions that need to step up perhaps or
Mm-hmm.
really shine. So we're not really here to necessarily use the voice all the time. It's about
Mm-hmm.
being in our heart and being more heart-centered and thinking from there, not thinking from here.
Right. Yeah, because the gate
So I hope that
21
helps.
is is coming off the heart. Even
Mm,
though, so it's the heart, it's the will, it's the ego, right? But it is coming
mm,
from that heart. And so what happens is when we go too much into the willpower versus coming from your heart. And so
mm.
what's happening right now is we're going through a major shift with money, resources. Hi, Jamal. So glad you're here with us. Money, resources, who we view as power or not. It's now shifting from more of those hierarchy, tribal ways into individual. Because with the turning of the wheel for 2027, it's going to be more about individuality and how am I going to individually survive and thrive versus the bargains and the tribe and the collective and all that stuff.
And then the
Um,
21, right, wanting to be very independent and being their own boss
yes.
and having that control of being their own boss. But the 21 thriving with that balance of being able to, how can they serve others, but how can they serve themselves
Mm-hmm.
as well? Um, we've got a good friend that has a birthday. Happy birthday, Vicky,
Yeah, happy birthday.
in
Yes.
the 21.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think when I was writing a message to her for her birthday, I was reflecting about how maybe this may come up for her without getting into the nuances, because this is her feeling, her ways. But I was thinking about, like, what is it for someone that actually has a 21 and it's their life's work, it's their
Mm-hmm.
sun gate, and how they are here to thrive in a leadership role, and amidst any chaos or amidst any turbulence, they're really about shedding themselves and transforming themselves. And it's known as the shaman, right?
Oh,
The
really?
21 is the shaman. And so when I think about the shaman and I think about people that we know,
Mm-hmm.
um, in common with that has the 21, I think that the shaman is someone that has been through some really big trials
Mm-hmm.
and some great transformations. And it's almost like, I heard recently, it's donning the cloak and letting that go and letting people see them for who they really are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, there's no facade. It's not about them pushing and being in control anymore. It's about letting that go and just being in complete oneness
Mm.
with themselves.
I
And
love
this is
that.
me, and this is how I shine now. And that shaman will really give um, the the tribe, the overall collective, their heart,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, I
They
love
come
that.
they come from the heart. So I hope that that might help anyone that has 21, or if you don't, remember we're all going through this gate as it's transiting through the sun right now. So how can you step into this gate or key with more valor
Mm-hmm.
and really understand that it's about um, how are you being authority for yourself or for the tribe. And I also was reflecting and contemplating on authority, and I was reading in one of the Gene Keys books that authority, the word, right, what does it have in it? author.
Mm,
So what are you
I
trying
love
to
that.
tell?
Yeah.
What story are you weaving in, and what stories are you sharing with others? And then I think about, well, if it's a shaman, the shaman helps others understand who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They share from the heart. They share what story is it that that person perhaps has shared or needs to share. So
Yeah.
yeah, there was some big kind of moments for me this week, thinking about how this feels for me not having this gate. And as we
Mm-hmm.
transit and we go through it, what comes up. So I hope that that helps others that are feeling the energy from this gate as we're transiting through the 21, because I really feel like there's some great things here. You know, we've talked about the shaman side, but also the example of the 21 is a prime minister running a country,
Mm-hmm.
advocating for people. Now, what's going on at the moment in the US? It's actually
Mm,
affecting everyone globally.
yeah.
And we won't get into the dichotomies of all of that. But I was looking at that this morning
Mm-hmm.
on the TV, and I was thinking about how someone wants to be in control, someone wants to help the tribe in their way. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying whether it's right or wrong.
Right.
We're not going to get into
Mm-hmm.
politics, but it's interesting that it's happening right now
Yeah.
in the 21. Now, are they doing it from the heart?
Mm-hmm.
Are they? Or are they doing it
From
to
their
project?
ego. Yeah.
Are they
Yeah.
projecting?
Mm-hmm.
So just have a think about that. Like I said, we're not getting into politics, but I'm just looking at other people and how they're showing up for the tribe, and in what way are they showing up. And I
Yeah.
just thought that was so interesting. Can't make this shit up, she said.
Yeah, and I think what I really noticed with the eclipse, so the added eclipse energy as we went into the gate 21, it being off the heart, it's cracking your heart wide open. So we're going through this shift where we're re-examining power, leadership, all the things. And I see it shifting to people who are more authentic, people who can relate to other people who coming from their heart. And
Mm,
it's in that energy. It doesn't really matter what somebody is saying at the time. It's, are they coming from their heart? Are they
mm,
coming from a heart-centered place where they're embodied in what they're saying and have the interest of, you know, a good relationship with themselves and the interest of other people? So I feel like that's the medicine
mm,
of what we're
mm,
stepping into, and what is going to continue to be in a play with the illusions of how this shows up, because with fear, that's a really good illusion. And so it's like, how can I see through the illusion of fear and be in
mm.
my heart
Yes.
and see who's resonating with that? So I just want to go back a little bit and read the comments. Britt said, went to go eat brekkie, but I'm back. Yay. You both have glowing hair. Oh, thank you so much. Trin says, I'm here gardening, so not responding as quickly. No problem. Britt says, resistant, reminding myself to allow and flow. Yes. Finding joy in the chaos reminds me to be in my body and to be in my softness and calmness. Absolutely. Love that. Jamal says, hey. Trin says, makes sense. Hello, so glad you're here. Oh, I think that's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. So glad you're here live with us. Kirsten mentioned shaman. She tagged somebody amazing, interesting, as my life work is gate 31. So I feel leadership through my voice with a 21. Beautiful. I have the gate
Mm,
31 too. So yeah, that's wonderful. I love that so much. Britt says, can't make this stuff up, and energy don't lie, embodied. Yeah. So good. So if you would like another message, another card pull, let us know. And we're going to continue to go into a little bit more of the astrology, because I think it's really important in mirroring. What happens is sometimes life happens and it can cause reaction versus going into our strategy and authority. So we really want to keep in mind with what we're being invited to learn with the transits. This is the most important thing. This is why we've been doing the 3-day challenge, and what we're going to continue to provide our community and make sure that you stay to the end, because we're going to go into it more. So what's happening right now is the North Node, Mercury, which is still in retrograde, Venus, which is still in retrograde, and Saturn are all conjunct, meaning they're like all in the same gate and sign. So then they're in the gate 36. So this gate is the gate of crisis, which is in the shadow, but in the highest expression, it's the gene key of compassion. And it's all in Pisces. So what does this mean? So the North Node is our highest potential, right? It's where our North Star is pointing. And so what happens right now with the North Node, it also has to do with environment. So your environment might feel a little bit like crisis, but is that true? Is there an illusion that's playing? And how can you tap into compassion? Because it wants to experience something new. Oh, crisis is happening. I want to experience something new, because that's the part of the channel. Because the gate 35 has to do with hunger for change. So whatever crisis is happening in the environment, how can you respond with compassion? How can you kind of take a step back and go into the witness? What do you have control over? You know, is your mind, is the not self telling you to do all these things, and then it's just digging you deeper into this hole? Or can you take a moment to pause and see what you have control over, and how to have that compassion without getting sucked into?
Lauren, can I add in there with the
Yeah,
control
absolutely.
too? So Sun in Aries, Moon just coming into Gemini, if I'm correct. So that's avoiding impulse spending and decisions.
Yeah.
So we're in control. Are you in control of that impulsiveness of spending or making decisions? And then Neptune, so Neptune being the illusion. What's the illusion you spoke about? And then causing that massive shift, right, for the collective to understand what our relationship is to spirituality, to God, whatever you call it for yourself, right? And this change hasn't been initiated since like the 1800s. So it's really helping the collective. And I was listening to this with Oprah on Super Soul Sunday, and it was with Gabby Bernstein and Marie Forleo. And, you know, they're some of the most embodied spiritual gurus of our time.
Our besties.
And they, right? And they started their deconditioning process, their journey of whatever you might call it. It might be spirituality, it might be enlightenment, their journey to God. Like, it's different for everybody, right? And I was listening to them and them explaining the different ways on how they all came to where they are. And they were all quite young. They were very, very young as they donned their cloak and stood into their shamanism, I guess you could say. And so they were saying also that they're noticing that the collective, there's so many more people that are yearning and wanting to really understand more about themselves. And so I feel like those that are here with us right now, that's the journey that we're all on, is really understanding more about how we can be in attunement and alignment with our own self, so then we can help serve and help others. So I hope that resonates and makes sense with the planetary shifts and the astrology at the moment. I absolutely love your intel on this, because you see so many polarities, but you see so many synchronicities as well, and how it all comes together.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Casey. So awesome you're here live with us. Let us know if you want a card pull, and if you know your human design. Put it in the chat. I will get on that. And I'm just going to piggyback a little bit off what Kirsten was saying, like absolutely 100%. Yes. to everything. And I just want to highlight this big shift with Neptune going into Aries. We're at 0 degrees. So when we're at 0 degrees with something, this is the most potent something will be, and an energy will be. So Neptune in Aries hasn't happened since the 1800s. So Neptune in Pisces, we've been in that energy for the last 13 years, and it's home there. But sometimes Neptune and Pisces, it's about illusions. It's kind of detached. We can't really see as clearly. It can be dreamy. It can be, you know, a little bit detached of what's going on in reality. So with Neptune now shifting into Aries, it's all about like, okay, now it's time to wake up and do the damn thing. It's really about taking on our spirituality like you're a warrior and going whatever journey that's calling you. It could be creativity, it could be leadership, it could be going after a new position in a role that you've been waiting. And now your inner authority, yourself, your empowered person is like, okay, you waited long enough. Now it's time to go. Because Aries is, like I said earlier, do now, think later. But this is a really good position with Neptune because it's still holding that spiritual element at the same time. So Casey says, yeah, sure, I would love that. Definitely would love to have a card pull. What is the other thing you said? The human something. A little sorry. I need new energy. My last 13 years have been rough. Human design. I know you're a Libra. Yes, I have described myself as being super detached. Like I'm on all autopilot, interesting, not being in the moment often at all, just kind of existing. Totally understand that. That's all I know. I don't know your human design though. Okay, so you are new to human design. Great. We want to get you your free chart. So you can go to the link in my bio after this or during this. I would suggest doing it after. So you can get the information with the card pull and all the things, and you will get to know your type, your authority, your profile, all that stuff. And we have a bunch of resources for you to understand what all that means. And you can connect with us as well if you have any questions, because it's a bit of information when you're just learning and getting initiated into human design. So let's see. And Kirsten, do you want to add anything to that for our newbies?
I guess for our newbies, I would just say, just step into it with patience. Don't go rushing down it too many rabbit holes and Googling all the things, and
Yeah.
just allow it to come forward to you in the right timing. So not pushing, not being in control. So I hope that maybe a tarot or one of the cards here that Lauren's going to pull for you now might reflect something else for you, and we can look at the human design later. It's not of importance right at this moment. I think it's more about that you're here and you want to understand more about yourself. So I'll be really curious to see what the I Ching cards pull up for you. So Lauren, we've got one more for Casey, correct? And then we've got some pretty exciting news to come up.
Yeah, so Casey says my oldest daughter's name is Lauren. Interesting. It's tattooed on my arm. Oh my gosh. I feel like it's a sign we connected. Absolutely. I do have and use tarot cards. I have a bunch of decks. So this will be definitely interesting because I'm sick of myself having to read to myself. Love it. Okay, Casey. So the card that came for you is the Gate 30. And this is called the Clinging Fire. The animal totem is the hippopotamus, and it's grounding emotions. It says yin, power, desire, emotion. So with the Gate 30, what this card means is what do you emotionally desire? So you just mentioned you're kind of on autopilot, you're detached, you're going through the motions. When we get into the Gate 30, it's all about being in your body and feeling what do you desire. what is that feeling? What is the next thing that you get to experience? And really go with that. And it's facing upright. So this is a great time to step into this, to really contemplate, okay, what's my next thing? What have I been waiting for? And then the universe is like, here it is. And using your inner authority, right? And you'll learn more about that when you get your chart. And really using that to see, okay, now this is the next step. This is where I'm going to. And this is applicable to anyone else who's tuning in and resonating with this, right? Kirsten, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, the thing that came up for me was the hippopotamus. And if you think about how when they're in their power, they're in their body, they're in the water, and they're very slow moving. And we were just talking about going slow, just going at a
Yeah.
slow pace. Don't push yourself. Feel your body and feel that powerness that you've got, but not pushing, just being in control at a pace that works for you. So it was, yeah, so interesting that the hippopotamus came up. I
Yeah.
really love it.
Yeah. Casey says, I've been on a wellness journey and have become quite passionate about it. Amazing. Trying to make my body healthy and live naturally as I can. Love that so much. Thank you. That's how I feel. Ooh, nice. Great synchronicity. Thanks so much for sharing and joining us. We're so glad you're here. I'm constantly
I'd love to share
refreshing.
stories with you sometime, Casey. That'd be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Kristen, do you want to share a little bit about that before?
Um, yeah, that I've spoken before several times on my journey, on my physical body journey, but it wasn't about the physical. It was about, yeah, I guess being in control of the way that I consumed not only food but consumed information and how I digested things, both on the literal and non-literal, and that really shaped and helped change and rid of a lot of toxicity, both the physical and the metaphysical. So I'd really love to hear your story sometime if you're open to sharing with me. I think the only thing majorly that we haven't covered today, Lauren, before we discuss about the prize draws, is the codon ring, and just diving into
Yeah.
that just for a moment, if you're okay with that. So it's the
Yeah,
codon ring of
absolutely.
humanity. And the codon ring of humanity is one of the most complex codons. It deals with deep collective themes, so how we're all collectively feeling this, right? And it's our relationship with one another. Lauren was saying she was feeling unwell last week. Did I get it from her energetically? We don't know. And this group of humanity codon rings is 10, 17, 21. 25, 38, and 51, if my memory serves me correctly. And each of these 6 gene keys represent an archetypal story in our human stories. So remember, we were talking about, like, what story are you telling? What story are you writing from authority? Who are you the author of? What are you wanting to share and bring forward? So it's just a moment to go through that. I'm not going to say much more about that, but the codon rings have been mapped to the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, and those are the cards that Lauren was just reading from. So I thought it would be really relevant
Yes.
just to mention that. And as you can see, these help us collect to our individual experience, but it's a broader human collective consciousness. And you're all writing in there, like, comments about how it's very similar for you and the themes that are coming up for you. And so we can all feel very similar energetic changes and experiences through the collective. And it's based on, from my understanding, is what's transiting at the time, what's coming up in the astrology. And so that's why we're so deeply passionate about sharing this information, how it may not just be you that's going through this this right now. It can be completely someone on the other side of the world that you've never met or you don't know that's feeling very similar experiences. So yes, I just thought it would be worth sharing that in there. So what story are you here to tell through being a leader? Are you doing it with nobility? Are you doing it with honor? Are you coming from the heart? What stories are you wanting to share with the universe? What needs to be healed or released? Or how do you bring your awareness or align yourself to really embrace with heart? And what tools also, don't forget, that you can use to help open up your lungs and step more in embodiment. So Lauren, is there anything there that maybe I've missed from there?
I don't think so. I think you're getting a lot of amazing points with what we're talking about. And I mean, we could keep going on and on about this gate and the channels and all this stuff, but we have something very, very exciting that we want to share with you all. Before we go into that, we're just going to tease what's the next gate, and going into this gate, what we have for you that's really going to support this. So we're still in the gate of control until tomorrow. It will go into line 6. And as we go into line 6, we look to what's next. And the next gate is the gate of shock. So I have the gate 25, and that's part of the channel of initiation. Shock can be really shocking, to say the least. Whether you have this gate, the hanging gate, the full channel, its purpose is to shock you into awakening. And in the not self, it can shock you and your body goes into freeze. So we really want to be mindful of this energy and how it's playing out within the next week. Kirsten, do you want to say anything about that?
So the 51 is awakening in seeing the world's wonders through clear eyes and an open heart. And it moves from agitation. So you might feel a little bit agitated first over the weekend, moving through with initiative. So what's the initiative to take, or what's the initiative that you need to be aware of towards that waking up experience? So agitation with initiative towards awakening. So that's the 51, the gate of shock, as we mentioned. My beautiful Moira, my friend Moira's got this in her life's work. I've learnt quite a lot from her over the years about the gate of shock and how that comes up. And yeah, it's a big one for people that have it in their profile. So we'd really love to hear if you know, or if you're aware that you have the 51, but just now that you're all aware that it is coming up and it's coming into transit, you have that awareness. So it won't shock you so much.
And the founder of Human Design, Ra Uruhu, he had this in his incarnation cross. And what did he do? He's a manifestor who shocked people into awakening through human design. And he used a lot of shocking words to wake people up. So yeah, so we'll go into more of that next week. And the way that you can benefit from this is, first, we're going to announce the prize winner for our 3-day challenge. And then what is next? How can you really benefit from knowing the transit, seeing how it shows up in your human design chart, really embodying your human design, your inner authority, seeing through illusions, getting additional support with meditation, energy work, guidance, a safe space, community, collaboration. We have a lot of things that we want to offer you. So the first thing is, do you want to announce our winner, Kirsten?
So based on the information of when we originally started doing our lives. What is it? It's nearly been a month, Lauren, I think. Over
Uh-huh.
the
Yeah.
several weeks. Nancy, congratulations,
Mhm.
because you have
Yay,
been
Nancy.
so active in sharing, in showing up live, in being present. So we would like to honor you with our monthly membership, and our membership we're also going
So the
to, so we're going,
first
we've got a,
month will be
yes.
free for Nancy. Congratulations, Nancy.
So with our membership, the first class is going to be beginning in a week's time, and the first 3 people that sign up will get a free bonus mini reading as well. Now, whether that's human design or gene keys, it might be a flavour of it, between Lauren and I, and any founding members as well. Those first 3 will get that free mini bonus. So we'd really love to hear from you. To be able to find out more information about this, you can DM us, you can email us at cosmicharmonyhd@gmail.com. Yes, congratulations, Nancy. And for those of you on the replay, just hashtag replay. And if you'd like more information, please do reach out to us. We're on any of the platforms that we've been sharing on. But we'd really love to invite you all in and come in and experience this. I guess a really embodiment tools and practices like Lauren shared with you that can really help you see through some of these illusions that perhaps we might be experiencing, and want to help understand them more about ourselves and about others. But it's really about your own journey.
Mm-hmm. And the first month, we're offering founding members price. So the first for April. After April, the price is going to go up. So make sure you take advantage of the founding members price if that's correct for you. Um, and with using human design, I see this a lot. I was exposed to human design 7 years ago. So I went through my first deconditioning cycle. I see this in communities. It's just part of any sort of modality, system, way of teaching. There's a lot of questioning, right? We have the gate 63, which is doubt, which is healthy doubt. You want to be an inquiry of, okay, is this true? Is this not true? How does this support me to move forward? We're not telling you this is the end all be all. We're of you got to do it this is your journey. We're just here to offer practical tools for you to use to really continue to thrive and expand in ways that honor yourself. We are not claiming to be any sort of guru above, below. It's all of us together doing the thing. And with some people, and it's just a process of finding our own inner authority of, okay, do I have to do it a specific type of way? I need to do XYZ. It's just part of the process as we trial and error through this. The line 3, which is the mutation of figuring stuff out. Even if you're not a line 3, we go all through these certain things. So we really want to hold this space of your experience, what you're here to continue to step into, to learn, to discover within yourself, to add some additional tools to your toolbox and uncover what is in the mystery of your beautiful design. And I've been experimenting, researching this stuff, like I said, for 7 years. I'm still learning stuff. Certain things still pop to me, and I'm just like, it's just a never ending process of while I'm here on earth. And I think
Absolutely.
we all have something. I know we all have something to add to one another. No one knows more or less.
Yeah, absolutely. We're learning from each other every day,
Mm-hmm.
Lauren. I mean, like Lauren said, she's been on her human design experiment for 7+ years. I've been on mine for coming up 5 years. Um, Gene Keys just short of 5, and it's really a, a daily, a monthly, a yearly experiment, whatever it is, in how you want to step into it. And so we're just I guess, the conduit, is that the right expression, to help you understand and unpack more about yourself in the way that feels right for you. We don't pressure you into anything, and we're here really to be able to share and shine some of that light, like we have the last few weeks with you, and to help you to understand and explore more about who you are, or who others are around you.
Absolutely. And especially like as a projector, here to recognize you, like really use my laser and recognize the shiz out of who you are as your individual self.
Yeah.
And
And then,
and Kristen does this beautifully too as a
yeah, I was going to say, don't
manifestator.
forget we archetyped your name as the oracle, and the oracle seeing things that are beyond what we see. And Lauren just has this amazing gift and talent for being able to see what we don't see ourselves, and share that with us. And my strategic business brain, the king, being able to help delegate or help you step into leadership and help you really shine and step up where you feel comfortable and where it feels right for you. And people that have worked with me, I should say, not for me, people that have worked with me for many years have said just how gentle and kind I am, and that I can help them see themselves, and for them to be aware of who they really are, and where they can shine more, and how they can step out of themselves and really embody and understand how to be able to move forward.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got with navigating the star codes. We'd like for you to come along and play with us. So first class beginning in the next week. Who would like to come? So please let us know if you've got any comments here that you would like to share, or any questions that you have. If you would like more information, just perhaps put in hashtag star. We could do star or star code.
Star codes.
And star codes would be great. And then we can share a little bit more with you about that information.
Yeah, we'll
So,
send you
Lauren, is
all
there
the
anything?
information. Sorry, Kristen.
Yep.
We'll
No, you're
send you
right.
all the information about the membership, the details, what that looks like when we're meeting, what you're gonna get out of it, the platform, all the things, the container that it looks like. If you want to show up for the first class and see what it's like, let us know. You can PM us, you can email us. We just connect with us so we can really support you in making the best decision for yourself. And if you feel like other people who would really benefit from this, who you're like, oh my gosh, let's do this together, or oh, I think this person will love this, please share. That would, not only are you helping that other person, you're helping us all expand our fractal and create a different reality and community while we're here, which is
We
our
can't wait to
intention.
share more with you, Kay.
Yay! So excited, Kay.
So,
And
Kay will be one of the first to receive the free bonus mini reading. And I know, Kay, you've had some before, more on the dream rave, and I know you've had other human design readings, but as you know, we all bring our own different flavor. So yeah, we're really excited to be able to bring more for you on this.
And so just stay tuned as we present our first class next week. Let us know if you want to sign up, if you want to be there, anything else that we can support you with. And I think that's it. I'm very excited. I just want to thank you all for going through this journey with us, showing up live, getting in touch with what's coming up for you, contemplating. And if there's anything else we can support you with, just let us know. And welcome to Navigating the Star Codes. We're officially launching. Yay!
Thank you, everyone. Great to have you all here and interact with us. And we look forward to seeing you online next week. Okay.
And keep in mind, what are you in control of throughout the week, and what's awakening next week. Bye, everyone.